August 14th is lit. Let's talk about it.
Push the weight in our flex. Flex the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker hot stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
August 14th is lit. And I'm excited. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I'm excited. August 14th, lit. Guillermo Rigondeaux will be facing Jonrell Casimero. I hope I'm not butchering his name. On August 14th on Showtime. Return of the King. Yes, sir. According to Boxing Scene, Jonrell Casimero, will have to get through a tough fight with El Jackal, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Cuban boxer extraordinaire. John is in line to fight Monster Inoue. PBC and Showtime announced Thursday that Casimero will square off with Rigondeaux in a bantamweight championship fight August 14th. The Rigondeaux-Casimero class, one of 7 title fights PBC and Showtime revealed Thursday, will be the main event of a Showtime championship boxing broadcast from a venue to be determined. The Philippines, Casimero, 32, and Cubas Rigondeaux, 40. You know how y'all haters like to do, allegedly 40, whatever, will fight for Casimero's WBO 118-pound championship and Rigo's secondary WBA belt. Casimero calls out Japanese star Naoya Inoue every chance he gets, but their first fight has not been rescheduled. But their first fight has not been rescheduled. Wow. They were supposed to meet last April 25th at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, but that card was canceled due to COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. Inoue, 20-17, 20 wins, 0 losses, 17 by way of knockout, is expected to make a mandatory defense of his IBF bantamweight title against another Filipino fighter, Michael Das Marinas. I don't want to butcher these guys' last name. I'm not being funny. I just, it's crazy. June 19th, probably in Las Vegas, the 28-year-old Inoue is recognized as the WBA's legitimate champion in the 118-pound division. Inoue is the WBA super champion, whereas Rigo is a sanctioning organization's world champion. Are you confused? For those of you casuals that have no idea what I just said, are you confused? Research it yourself. I'm not doing this anymore. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, in Rigo, the hard-hitting Casimero will encounter a highly skilled but aged champion who has only one loss, three division champion, Vasyl Lomachenko. All right, now look. Now listen. I'm excited for this. I'm a Rigo fan. I'm sorry. I'm a Rigo supporter. You dig? Rigo, and I spoke about this morning, Rigo has been done dirty his entire career. His entire career, he was done dirty. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I would like to see him get in the saddle and style on this kid, beat him up, and move on to fight Inoue because he deserves it. The man had to go up how many weight divisions to fight Lomachenko? And we gave Lomachenko full credit for that fight, did we not? Gave him full credit. At the end of that fight, a fight that I attended, right here in the theater at Madison Square Garden, Lomachenko said, yeah, man, he's the best, but just not in his division. Just not in, and he's the best in his own division. Rigo lost that fight, and he was stripped of his title in the lower weight class. Rigondeaux was done dirty by the business of boxing. He was done dirty by the fans who supported the fighters who ducked him. And nobody spoke up for him but a select few, myself included. Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, Scott Quigg, all ducked Rigo. And that fan base allowed them to get away with it. The sanctioning bodies allowed them to get away with it. Why? I think we know why. Openly ducked that man. Which is why I took a lot of pleasure in watching Leo Santa Cruz get slept by Tank Davis. So I'd like to see Rigo get back in the saddle. And to me, at 40 years old, this is his last hoorah. He has to win. And it'd be nice if he could do it impressive. He can be impressive while doing it. And get in there with Inoue and see what happens. Also, Nonito Donaire, about a week ago, he did say with his experience since their last fight, he think he'd fare well, if not beat or knock out, dare I say, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Well, Nonito, you got a belt now there, buddy. You said the king is back. Are you? Go on and try and run that back. We already seen how you fared up against Little Monster or Monster Inoue. You did fairly well. You did fairly well. I just don't think you could beat Rigo. I haven't seen anything from the time you lost to now that makes me say, yeah, you're ready for Rigo now. When Rigo lost to Lomachenko, he was undersized. He broke his hand. He wasn't dominated like that. It was two pure boxers. And when you have a pure boxer that's legitimately bigger than the smaller boxer, the bigger boxer more than likely is going to win. So these are things I'd like to see. Donaire versus Rigo, rematch. What, 5-6 years later? Whatever. I'd like to see it. Since you're calling for it, you said you'd run through him, so why not call for it? He got to get through this fight. And I'd like to see him in there with Inoue. But let's go Rigo, man. Let's go Rigo. Let's go Rigo. You know, sometimes I think I'm the only person speaking up for this guy. Well, there's a few others. A few others of my brothers that talk up for him. But sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. You know, but it's unfair, and it's just weird how no one else, old media, speaks up for Rigo. Why is that? Why is that? Y'all all worried about the wrong stuff, man. This man was done dirty. Y'all didn't hold any of those guys' feet to the flame. Where they at now? Don't matter. But the ship hasn't sailed. You know, Rigo's the man. I'll never stop supporting him. And like I said, this is his last hoorah. He's 40 years old. That's the reality of it. If he could beat this Filipino kid, get past him, Monster, Donaire. How dope would it be if he goes to Monster, beats him, and then rematches Donaire? I'm with it. So that date's locked in, man. Saturday, August 14th. Lit. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm bugging. Was there something else happening on the 14th?